Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday, wherever you are in the world and whatever time of day it is or evening for you. It's a beautiful sunny day here, and I'm excited to talk to you today about, frequencies, vibrations, um, because we're running them all the time, and our animals are too. And it's always a good thing to kind of take the pulse of where you are at any given time in your day of, wonder what frequency I'm emitting, because we share those frequencies with everybody. And so as you come into the room, hi, Jennifer, it's good to see you. Oh, this is great. So as you come into the room, I would love to have you drop a little note and do a pulse check. Where's your frequency right now in this moment? Can you describe what it is? Is it excited? Is it open? Or is it frazzled? Is it soft and gentle? What is it? It's always good to start paying attention to this for yourself, because not only do you get to learn about yourself and your own frequencies, but you also get to learn about your animals. So as we, go through today, what we expand upon and what we open up in ourselves is going to really, it's so beautiful, ripple out to others in the world. And also it opens you up to feeling into your animal. So let me know, how are you doing today? Oh, good. Monica says anxious but open. Isn't it interesting how we can be both at the same time? I love that you're able to read that. And Claire says, hi, Tammy, good to see you and be with you. Such a great topic. Spirit knows what it's doing with us. That's a piece we all need to kind of really hone in on and get in touch with our hearts, get in touch, not just one time, but live our lives noticing our frequency. And, if we do have a low frequency, I can give you a number of ways to up level that. So Claire says it's always a high frequency here. Well, everybody, I feel like, contributes to that. And Pond of Peace comes in and says, hello, what's your frequency today? And Jennifer said, I had my first ketamine treatment yesterday, so I'm feeling light and positive. That's good. It's good to, self-care is a frequency in itself, right? And our animals are natural, like, frequency givers and sharing of vibrations that we need, that we may not even know we need. So don't forget, as you come in, let me know, what's your frequency today? Jenny says, I try to maintain a high frequency, but it's exhausting at times. That may be because you got some resistance going on at the time, because really a high frequency, if it's trying to override something, then that's not like the natural state. So I would suggest maybe, and I do this myself, so relaxing into it. If you catch yourself like, I'm just too hard to keep this up, just relax into where you actually are, and that's going to help actually raise your frequency. And Timothy says, it's a soft one today, overcast and drizzly with pretty autumn greenery and colors outside today. My cat Monty is snoring. That is a frequency. I love that. When they snore, my Twinkie snores too, and she's just, she's loving life. So I like that soft one. I like soft. Ponpee says, I don't force and allow the negative emotions, sad but healing. Yes, it's that allowance that allows it to flow, and it's our resistance that it keeps it in place, and that actually gets more contracted. And if you notice with animals, they just are where they are. They don't have resistance to wherever they are, if they're, at any given time. So I'm hearing some more. And Carol says anxious but open as well. Yeah, both are true at the same time. So you're checking into your body. And your body actually wants to be checked into, by the way. It feels that's connecting. So we don't separate, from this way up to the rest of our body. It's an integration, kind of a whole frequency. So as we go through today, let's drop in every now and then and see where we are in our vibration and where our spirit is today. Monica, I lost my cat Bug 3 weeks ago. It's a precious name. I'm very sad, but I know he led me here. Yes, I'm so glad you realize that. And the animals always lead us exactly where we need to be. And it's such a comfort. I know in my own life with the animals, they've guided me and taught me and held the space for me that I trust them completely. So I love that. And yes, if you found your way here, I can promise you're meant to be here. Okay, let's see. Oh, I feel I sinned. I lost him 2 months back. Healing is difficult. And I think, when we do feel like that, and we feel that guilt, and we don't feel like we can do anything about what happened, that's the time to be gentle. I also am hearing for you actually journaling. Yes, journaling that out because, okay, so your pet's going to help you with that. I'm hearing to journal, and that's going to be part of your healing. So I don't know if you write already, but that's literally what dropped in. And this is a great place to be because we hold that space for you, sending condolences for your loss. Absolutely. So, all right, you're gonna know this. This is like state the obvious, Tammy. What's the highest frequency that pets offer us? What would you say? In general, as a collective, but also individually for ourselves. Highest frequency of all. What is it? You'll have to pop it in the comments for me. I'm going to quiz you all the way through. It's something you can tap into too. It's all animals do this. All animals do this. Yes, love. Susan, good to see you. Unconditional love, right? Unconditional love. And without, I don't know where we'd be, to be honest with you, without that modeling or that example or that sharing of that frequency, we may go all our lives and not really feel it because it's rough with humans because love becomes so conditional. The animals it's not conditional at all. No matter what we have done, where we are, nothing. They always offer that. So that is one of the greatest gifts that we can learn from and then offer it back. So I'd like to give you a quote from one of my favorite authors. Some of you may know this guy. So if we put up that slide, David Hawkins. There's my little unconditional love. Yes. All right. So I want you to take this in for a minute. If you know David Hawkins, excellent. He's passed, but excellent spiritual teacher. By changing ourselves, we change the world. As we become more loving on the inside, healing occurs on the outside. Much like the rising of the sea level lifts all ships, so the radiance of unconditional love within a human heart lifts all of life. I get all over body chills on that one. Monica, Bug taught me unconditional love. I never had that in my life before him, my true soul animal. And now that you have that, now that you hold that in your heart as a truth, as it's a direct experience, how then do you carry that forward in the world? Because that's really, we carry their legacy forward and we hold their history. So how do we bring that? How can we take those gifts out into the world as a living testament to what they have offered? Timothy says, for me, it's kind of a total connection with their being and will. And then the love is kind of an enlightenment. That's beautiful. I don't know how to put it. Well, you're doing really well, but I can feel awed by the force of the connection at times. That is so beautiful. I wonder, has everybody else felt that as well? And sometimes with those kind of feelings, we almost can't put it into words. It's this wordless experience. So let's take a look at maybe what it means for love to be a healing vibration. And I have some slides I'll share so that you can go along with me. So love isn't just a feeling, it's a frequency. When we're in the vibration, just like was described to us so beautifully, our energy field expands, harmonizes, it comes into coherence, where our mind, our body, our spirit are all in sync, and you can feel it. That coherence invites balance back into our bodies, our emotions and our relationships. And we can be with our animals, and that happens very, very naturally. Claire says to tell their story and to speak their name is to send love, their frequency out into the world. Absolutely. Like we talked last time, their names carry a vibration. Their names carry a strong vibration, especially the silly ones, especially what you called them when you were like, kind of aggravated, or you wanted them to do something they weren't doing, and you call them by their formal name so they really get it. So yeah, I love that. So love being a frequency and not a feeling. If we go to that next slide, it has a measurable, energetic signature. It's calm and open and radiant. What else is it? We'll have the slide up in a minute. What else is it? Think about it. The love you had from your animal, what would you describe as the signature of it? Was it light? Was it easy? Was it funny? What was it? And put it in the comments if you will, because when you're in that frequency, your body shifts from survival mode to harmony. Oh, it was inviting. Yes, I like that. Inviting. That's an attractive energy, very attractive energy. Oh, deep and soothing. Yes. For you all, especially the ones that have lost your beloveds, can you access that right now? The deepness, the soothing, the inviting. Can you call that up in your body? And if you can, drop it in the comments for me, because I'd love to see this kind of in action with, because the animals are working with us on this frequency right now. So we all have to kind of participate in this together. And when you shift into that frequency, like calmness and sweetness, by remembering how they felt, the body shifts from survival to harmony. That's another way in to kind of up-level your frequency and to bring your system into balance. Oh, Monica says, yes, it brought tears. Poignant tears, for sure. Flowing freely. Yes. Do you see how you're activating it? And as for us, we're all, sharing in this shift that we're heading toward. So pets dwell here instinctively. They entrain us to it simply through presence. So if you go back to how you felt in the presence of your pet, and you were trying to explain that to someone, what would you say? And some of you are already like honing into that and bringing that forward. As you do, guess what you're doing? You're anchoring it in your system. To call it out, to name it, as Sonia Choquette would say, is to claim it. Jenny says, yes, it's like my heart is being embraced in warmth. Beautiful. Yes. Janet says, heartwarming, and it makes me smile. Janet, I have a surprise for you later on, shortly here. You'll see. Hang around. Soul connection, Jennifer says. Yes. What does that feel like? Is that like I always am interested how we're able to read energy. We don't even realize we're doing it. By saying soul connection, you are literally reading the energy of that. And what would that feel like? Soul and heart connection. Yes. So this is the frequency we want to cultivate. And as opposed to force, it's a gentle, easy kind of, a good word somebody used, inviting that frequency in. Like, I'm really needing some higher frequencies right now. I would describe it as happiness and love. Yes. We can tap into that at any time, even if we're feeling pretty bad. Deep in every cell of my body. Wow, a softening of the heart. Goodness, you know what you're doing too. I love the way you're opening this up for spirit to share. Is you are reading their essence. This is what you're doing. And when I, talk about you have that connection after they pass, it's not going anywhere. It can't go anywhere. And it is in you. You just sometimes don't realize it without naming it, without calling it up. Monica says, like our souls are intertwined together, almost as if they are one. Isn't that a wonderful feeling? That feeling of oneness? Because it's really oneness with ourselves. Rebecca says, when I think of the love between Simba and the feeling I get is a clean river of crystal clear water, a pure flow between us. I love that. And you know what I'm also feeling? That is a great for everybody. So thank you for sharing this, because you just shared a segue. I'm seeing that flowing, the between, like the heart, when we connect our hearts with them and we get that going and flowing, that river, that crystal clear water, a pure flow, that actually that's a psychic connection. That's a heart connection. You can send and receive messages on that. They're heart messages. That's great. I love that. Oh, I feel like he is hugging me. Yes, I feel like all the animals are like, oh my gosh, they need some help today. So we're going to go. I'm not sure if the slides are working, but we'll go to the next slides on why it heals. It would be number 2. So why does it heal? Fear contracts and love expands, and healing requires expansion. Now think about when you're grieving and you're really, really sad. It's not necessarily that you feel all, expanded. Don't you usually feel contracted? Like it's like tightening up. It is almost like you're squeezed into it. So, the love can help open that up and expand so that healing can come in. In love, energy starts flowing freely, and blocked emotions begin to move again. And, with the blocked emotions, some of us don't even know that we have blocked emotions. We go around possibly our whole lives not even realizing that. Have any of you run into somebody that you feel like they've got a lot of emotional stuff they are holding? I ran into somebody, not too long ago, and I could feel a lot of grief, and like it was packed in there. And it's like we hang on to it and it gets super familiar, and we don't realize that we can let go of it. Actually, that it lets go of us, because if we letting go is a process, yes, but it's also a relaxing into just being there with whatever those emotions are. And if they're blocked, a lot of times we've kind of put them off to the side. We can't even like access them. So we might say we're doing great. But animals have this wonderful way of softening our hearts without us knowing it, even the gruffest of people. And, our hearts melting allows for things to flow again. So I love this. Love reorders energy patterns that have been distorted by pain or loss. Oh, Jennifer says, I have so many emotions, mainly are numb. I tried for 16 minutes to get it out. How'd you do that? The easiest way to actually do that is it's kind of like going around the bush of the mind, like it's a trick of the mind because we're so super focused on feeling numb that if you switch the programming, let's say you're watching TV and you switch the channel a little bit, look at another show through things like we're doing now. Tuning into that helps that warm that numbness back up. So just know that anytime you are feeling these high frequency feelings with your pet, from your pet, to your pet, in your day, whatever, you're actually reordering your energy and you're shifting things around, and it's just natural. It's natural. So if we would go to the next, how animals transmit it. We've already touched on that today through heart resonance, that invisible communication between beings. That's what actually we are doing right now with each other, is this heart resonance. And the more we connect in this way, the more you name what you're feeling, share what you are doing. It's kind of neat. We're opening up and creating an energy bubble, actually. No, Jennifer, yes, I did. I missed that comment. Lost girl cane corso to choking on a hockey ball. That is hard. And that's like shocking. And so, being with whatever emotion you've got going on right now is super, super important, because you might have a lot of, they're all flowing around at this particular time, and try not to, I guess, let them, what word was trying to come in? Try not to let them get stuck, but just acknowledge they're there, because you're going through quite a poignant and a painful period. So, it may not be easy for you to access that high frequency right now, but through what we're doing, even if you can't right now, you are receiving it through all of us who are tuning in to that space. And we're so sorry for you. And so right now, just try to keep that steady vibration of presence for just being here. Oh, that is so sad, Mr. Theo. And I'm so sorry. Jennifer says, praying for your heart to release the pain and guilt. My heart aches for you, dear friend. I'll be praying for you. So shocking and unexpected. Yes, definitely. Yes, this is so sad. So the steady vibration of acceptance, invites us to drop defenses. And when we've had shocks, especially with our pets passing, we can't necessarily be in the acceptance stage. And it's okay, because it's natural to go through kind of that soul shock and honor where you are. And, animals transmit even through pain. They help us remember who we are beneath the hurt, whole and loved. Monica says, I feel fear that comes with the love, which is confusing. Fear of never seeing him again, or of not being able to love another being as deeply again. I think that's very natural, because when we've had such an incredibly profound connection, it changes us, right? It changes us, and we're never the same afterwards. We're an expanded version of ourselves, but we don't necessarily know what that quite is at the time. And that would be natural, the fear of never seeing him again. What I want to say and what I'm hearing is, if you can practice some of the things, that we cover here and some of my other videos teaching how to connect and how to recognize that connection as your own, I'm hearing you will see him again that way. You will see him again. So there's a teaching right there for you from him, is coming straight to you. And Stephanie says, found your channel after losing my sweet little twain. Oh, you're helping me heal, understand, and remember to show gratitude for his presence in my life. Thank you. That gratitude is, I'm glad you're here. And that gratitude is the fastest segue to spirit that you'll ever have, because it activates that high level frequency of healing. And so even in our grief, if we can turn that grief or let that grief move into gratitude, then it sends our kind of hearts that direction, and it feels a little easier to be in the pain of it. So thank you for being here. I'm glad. And did you know Archangel Ariel's spiritual meaning is primarily as angel of nature, overseeing the protection and healing of the Earth's ecosystem, including animals, plants, and natural resources? I don't know that I did know that, or would have to look back at that. Thank you for sharing that. That's beautiful. And Jacqueline, I can describe the feeling, but it's like a huge void where my heart should be. I want to connect with my pet. Go straight. Yes, I understand in the heart space. In some of my other videos and in my teachings, there are lots of different ways, even in grief, and that gratitude is one of them, to drop into, well, here's the thing. So Spirit's Light teaching, grief becomes the loudest voice in the room. It eclipses everything else, and we don't realize, even in deep grief, we have access to a whole lot of other fully formed high emotions, high frequencies. So even as we grieve, we can reach into gratitude. So it's an and typically when we feel we have a void, we feel like everything else has been kicked out of the room. But that's the grief. And the practice would be, and you do it in micro doses, right? You don't necessarily or can take that leap all at once, but it's micro doses of just checking, like we check the pulse of where we are at the beginning of the time together, is in micro doses, just check. I'm feeling really bad and I'm really, really missing, my pet, but can I still remember a funny thing? Can I still remember a silly name I called them? Calling forth those things that are also still there will help you connect, and that helps calm down your system that feels so in shock. So hopefully that helps. It's also amazing. After Buffy passed, she totally took control of my social media and led me to Danielle and down this path to you. Don't you love the way it's an animal network? We don't have to worry a thing. They're going to connect us, and they guide so much in spirit. They are keeping us on our soul blueprint, our soul paths. We may think we've been dropped off a cliff, but they're guiding us every step of the way. I know a lot of you have shared with me, and Susan, who is frequent here, her Jay is guiding her and opening up her writing. So I love that you've noticed that for yourself. And she said, I never knew this was a possibility, but what a surprise. So yes, and we're activating it, right? We're activating, they're transmitting to us anyway right now. They're doing it very naturally. We're just having a conversation. But here, it's like a one-on-one session with me. It's through the connection that the communion occurs. And that's through us sharing. It's that easy to tap into that. So if we would pull up the next slide of what are some of the common healing frequencies? I'd love to hear it that you encounter in your daily life. I gave you some basic, examples like birds chirping, watching nature and wildlife, dog's tail wagging, um, playing fetch with a dog, a cat's purr, very high frequency, and caring for your animal, nurturing. What are some of the, can you name, there's another, there's a whole nother list other than this one. I'd like to know what are some of the common healing frequencies that you encounter in your daily life? And put it in the comments so we can share, because by no means is this a comprehensive list. What makes you smile? Even, and we're talking about animals, but yesterday I found some pillowcases that my children, apparently for a party, I had given them some paint and given them, whatever it was. And they did these pillowcases, and it's so sweet to run into that. It just made me smile that so many years later, that activated within me and opened my heart. And it's those unexpected kind of bumping into something that makes you smile. So let me know what other things. I'm pretty sure Janet would say squirrels raise her frequency and have helped her heal. How many of you, like Susan for Jay, what was it? What was it he did? And today, what do you bump into as a healing frequency that is kind of tagged to Jay, or maybe something that he did while you were here, and now you recognize it, like, oh, that feels like him. That's the kind of thing I want you to start looking for. Jennifer says, I'm so glad I'm here too. Such a tragic accident. Yeah, people I know are already trying to get me to get another fur baby, but it's still raw and heartbreaking. Only had her 10 months. You take your time. You take your time. And yes, you have to honor this loss and this heart-cracking experience. But we think our hearts break and they will never, ever love again, like somebody mentioned. But the truth is, when your heart breaks open, it expands even more. It's an expansion out. Joyce says, it's good to see you. Every now and then I see a quick shadow that I believe Allie is checking in. I love that, Joyce. You're connecting the dots. It's like you're putting the pieces of the puzzle together. And Janet says, squirrels for sure. Janet's dog Grace led the squirrels straight to her. So there's been this wonderful opening of amazing personalities that are coming through to make her laugh. And Eric says, take to park, lake, or trail with your dogs. Yes, I love that. Getting out in nature. And Jacqueline says, I love the different smells when the seasons change. It's so amazing. I live in Central Texas. Today is beautiful, sunny, and slight breeze. Temperature is 80 degrees. Wow, it's a warm. You know what I just saw an image of when I read that? Today is beautiful, sunny, and slight breeze. I literally saw you going outside, and like an ant, like a dog or a cat would kind of put their head up and just experience. That's what I got a real strong image dropping in of you doing that. So I'm pretty sure that spirit giving you a kind of invitation to have that experience today. Eric says, dogs love to meet and greet other animals. Oh yeah, they're having big conversations, big ones. And it's so funny to watch them and to feel that. I just smile thinking of that. Claire says, watching Jeff and his friends meet up each morning to play. How do they play differently than we do? How do animals play? And what do they share? When they're truly playing, are they just meeting each other, and is it like improv, or is it scripted? Do they just make it up like little children making up a game? To let me know what you picked up on that, Claire. Angie says Buffy loves stalking birds and squirrels. She was so funny, and I loved watching her. It's like the dog and cat channel on YouTube, where you put it on and your animal is like glued to the screen. That's us watching them. Oh, I love that. That's great. So I want to, I'm always all about the experience. So I'm going to put a photo up, and if that would go next. All right. So just take a look at the photo. What do you see? What details do you notice? What jumps out? And please share in the comments, because I'm interested in what you are noticing about this photo. What stands out as a tone or emotion, a feeling? And pop it in the comments. Some of you might notice the details. Some of you might notice more of a feeling. What do you notice first? Laura, good to see you. Beautiful rainbow. And yet that's in the distance. Interesting. Monica says the rainbow feels like hope shining through the fog. I get all over body chills. What else? What else do you notice? And when you notice the rainbow, Laura and Monica, what else do you notice? What feeling? What's the vibe of this photo? Claire says for the play, definitely improv, but each personality shining and connecting. Yes, I love that when they play. Angie says love and protection. What speaks to that? What do you notice? Where's the love and protection? What part of that photo are you seeing? Jennifer, the beautiful old buildings. Hang on, let me skip over that's up front. Rainbow that no one seems to see. I had that very thought myself. Like do you think people are noticing the rainbow? Do you think the people in the photo, in the front of the photo, are noticing? Very interesting observation. The beautiful old building still standing after years of being here. So it has like a, would you say, old world feel? And that's an energy too, right? That old world feel, as opposed to like concrete buildings and, straight lines. Pondipi says aging. I'm curious. Aging what? Aging buildings, aging people, aging what? Angie said his hand on her hip as they walk by the other guy. Are they noticing each other? Or are they just kind of in their own worlds? This photo alone has so much to tell us about a frequency. And it doesn't, and the reason I'm sharing this with you right now is to get you used to looking at life like this. Because life's always showing you frequencies. Monica said, I think it's presence. That's beautiful. They're looking into life. Joy says, the people seem to be protecting themselves, and I feel a little chill despite the rainbow. Is there an intensity, you think, with the people that you happen to notice? Is that what you're picking up with, you think, that intensity? Susan says they're missing the rainbow. Okay. So let me ask you this. Would you have noticed the rainbow? Would you have been in this situation and think you would have noticed the rainbow? What would your attention be if you pop your energy into that photo? What would you be doing? Just curious. That's a teaching point from Spirit right there. This is intuitive reading, by the way. Jacqueline says, the man and the lady, the man next to him looking grumpy, the buildings trying to tell where this is. Super sleuthing, are you? I'll tell you in a minute. The rainbow was last, the gray sky, and the open space in the clouds. So yeah, let's, that's trying to tell where this is. Any of you pick up on where you think it might be? Rainbow Bridge, is that what you see in the photo? That's interesting because it kind of is a bridge. My attention, Joy says, would be on the crowded sidewalk. Oh, that's fascinating. Think about that for a minute, because your point of perception would be here. Would that be because it was just a lot of energy around you? And if that's the case, that's what you would be paying attention to. When if you kind of zoom out, like we're doing here, we get the opportunity to zoom out. It's a different angle that you're noticing. Jacqueline, given my background, I would be on alert to my surroundings, always aware of surroundings. Okay. Angie says, I love the buildings, so charming and cool. I would have noticed the rainbow in the buildings. I probably wouldn't have noticed the older guy. Interesting. There's a lot in this photo. People getting on with their own lives, seemingly oblivious to the surrounding beauty. Oh, Susan says, I did not like his hand on her hip. Close. That's interesting because this is a married couple, and they actually have a really warm relationship. So yeah, that's, you might want to go dive a little bit more into that, because that you may be seeing something else in it that you're picking up. So I follow that thread a little bit. So would you like to know where it is? Cliffhanger, not much. It's in Bruges. So it's in Europe, and those old buildings are old. And there's a lot of tourists there in this particular photo. So we got that. I'd love for you to do this in your own life. Starting to look from the angle of that wide angle, even as you're in life. I don't think I would have noticed the rainbow if I was in this photo. It was easy to see it from the outside looking in. That's good. And the reason that's great is because that's that zooming out, outside looking in. It's when we zoom in, we're so focused. When we zoom out, we get a different angle. And she said, I definitely thought Europe. I thought you would. So let's look at another photo real quick. It will come in a minute. And I'd like to know when you see it. Don't wait. Tell me what you feel. Put it in the comments. Give me some words. Give me some words. What vibration does this photo hold? What do you see? What do you notice? What's the animal feeling? What's the frequency here? Janet's ha ha ha. Squirrels. This is Janet's photo. Yes, joy. I mean, loving life, right? Like they are having the best life ever right now. What else do you see in this? Laura, a very spoiled and loved squirrel. Does the squirrel know it? Is the squirrel communicating anything? What else? Is there an enjoyment? Like just really unbridled joy? Joy says, happy, he's so enjoying that orange. Yes, living life to the fullest, laughter. Are you smiling watching this? You just can't look at this, I think, and not smile. That's a frequency jump in, like that. Do things like this. It's a frequency snapshot. And Sarah says, I miss my dog. I saw 2 rainbows the day he passed due to the coyote attack. Oh my goodness. I took photos, and in one of them, I was either my dog's spirit or an angel taking him up, or both. Wow. That's profound. Profound poignant beauty in the pain. Yeah, it's a good life, I hear, Claire says. Janet says, that's Kevin. She named him Kevin. He's grateful. And is that a tangerine or is that an orange? He's happy and relaxed. Yes. Okay, so just saying, when you want to practice your intuition and animal communication, do this, because this is bringing forward, looking into rather than at something. We're diving into the energy of it. So I want to do something real quick with you. So get ready. Let's do a really fun healing exercise. And the animals have shared with me that the memories that make you smile always heal and have a high healing frequency. So if we can, yes, so you with me? Let's do this together. So, this could be done at home, and I've written it so that you can, but for our purposes now, here we are. We're going to be in a quiet place without distraction, because I actually hope you are. And this is a time release exercise. It's designed to open your heart and your mind to healing frequencies. And for those of you who are grieving, especially raw grief right now, this can be used over and over and over to tap into that space. You know me, if you've been here before, you'll need a journal and a pen, pencil, or a crayon. It doesn't matter. You'll be channeling your pet's frequency during this exercise. So ask yourself the following questions. You write each down as I go through, giving space for the answer to come. Again, you may have to do this later. And, the answers may come immediately or later. Oftentimes I get them in later when I'm not focused on the question. Another teaching point spirits have just told me to stop a minute and to explain. When you're focused on the question, you're in like an outward motion of energy, and you're not in the receiving motion. So those are two different frequencies, and to have both, right? So that's why it may come later, is you've kind of dropped the question and you just blew it out. So the exercise, think about this, is in present tense. Let's go to the second one before we get good and going here. I feel like you're already pretty grounded. I can feel the energy of you all. But now take a deep breath, deep, slow breath, and let out a big exhale, releasing all the tensions you may be carrying, all the concerns, all the worries that you're carrying that may not be yours. Just allow yourself just to have this moment, just to have the moment. And then if we go to the next slide, ask yourself, where does my heart need healing now? And if your pet has passed, I know a lot of you have that situation, ask yourself, when my pet came into my life, where did my life and my heart need healing? Something may come immediately to you. And as always, I love for you to share, because you're helping us all with that collective up-leveling of energy. So let whatever comes flow from your heart. And examples I gave you is like, what do you need now? I need joy, laughter, love, connection, peace. Some of you might say, I need to feel happy again. I need fulfillment, purpose, to be loved, to heal my broken heart. Ask your heart, what do you need? What do you need right now? And let your heart talk. And if you're journaling now, and, let it flow. And often when you put it in the comments, it starts flowing really rapidly for everybody and yourself. Because when we allow our hearts to speak, it opens up the floodgates. So where does your heart need healing? And when your pet came into your life, where did my heart need healing then? You need safety. Anodine, commitment to myself. What else? What else? And so if we go on to the next one, fill in the blank. You know, when put your pet's name, offers me, I immediately see or feel. And if your pet has passed, like Monica, name your pet, offered me, even if it's we're putting it in past tense, you're still calling up a present tense energy. I see a lot of you are tuning in here. You need emotional support, self-love, feeling worthy to be loved. And Angie says, when Buffy chose me, I needed healing from a prior pet death before her, joy and love. And to trust in real love. Thank you. So I put my own example. Yes, Jay came to help with illness. With trust in love. When Summer offers me a hug free of expectations, Summer is one of my animals, and she taught herself how to hug. And she would ask to be up, and she would put her, paws on my shoulders, and then she'd literally hug me. Gosh, when she does that, I don't care what's going on in the day. I feel love and peace in that hug. So think about what they've done, what they do, that they offer you, that you immediately then have a spontaneous response to it. And share that in the comments. Because these are steps that we're building on the frequency and opening it up even more. And that's why I love that it's a time release exercise, because not only are you receiving a transmission today and in the now, this will continue into your life. So what does your pet offer you that you immediately see or feel? Or if they passed, what did they offer you that you immediately felt when they did that? Maybe it was a smile, maybe it was joy, maybe it was laughter, maybe it was just incredible love that you felt. Tune into that. Tap that. It's a healing frequency within you. Jennifer says, Penny came and offered me true reliability, knowing I could always rely on her to be there for me, unconditional and non-judgmental love. And yours to keep forever. Yours to keep forever that lives within you and is that conduit of a connection to Penny. Beautiful, beautiful. Uniqueness, Carol says. Oh, I love that. She offers you, your pet offers you uniqueness. Ooh, lymphatic massage of Florida. I love that. I felt companionship. That's such a healing frequency, companionship. Feeling seen and valued. I feel like at any time in our life, we always want to feel seen and valued. Love straight from the heavens. Y'all are, there we go. When Buffy offered me this slow flip of her tail, it would make me smile and knew she was like, hi, I love you. Beautiful, beautiful. I can feel that too. Let's go to the next one. Let's keep building on this. So this one is probably easy. Well, it would be okay. My business, well, this one might not. The next one's going to be an easier one. My biggest heart blocks are what? You might say my biggest heart blocks are daring to love again, trusting after so many losses. We're always kind of loosening up blocks to our emotions. And let's do the fourth, and I'll let you all keep putting them in there and keep sharing. Yes. I feel safest when. Describe what you feel when you were the most open, the most trusting, the most alive. For example, I feel safest when you're close to me and I can feel you. I feel safest when. What would you put there? When you were most open, the most alive. I feel safest when you well, are close to me, or what I feel safest. Because safety that's another piece with our pets, is there's that safety factor. Our hearts feel safe, right? Our hearts feel safe with animals, and we allow ourselves to feel vulnerable too. So let's go to the next one. And Jennifer says, I feel safest when I knew I was truly seen and loved, for sure. Yes, absolutely. Well, you're seen here. We all see you. And my guess is you see others. Trusting and loving. Eric says, when I know the pets agreed with me. Susan, I feel safest when Jay looked into my eyes. Okay, agreed with me. Yes. Yeah, you can call this up as as I'm feeling Jay in you're looking into his eyes. You can activate that right now, which of course we are. So this fifth one, find the gifts. I'm all about the gifts. I see now where, and you can name your pet, offers me the highest frequency gifts of what? Probably too many to name, right? But I bet you can come up with one right now. Bet you can come up with one. And I'll give you a minute to pop it into the chat for a minute. So for instance, Molly helped me be a good mother. Emily showed me kindness to all beings and being silly. Katie, connection and family. Murphy, the highest perspective. Bean, the gift of dancing with my spirit. Summer, that I just mentioned, the gift of pausing in the day for a hug to connect with my heart. So what are the gifts? The highest frequency gifts that they have offered you and they continue to offer you each day of your life, that you could never be without again, because you can't. You're connected forever. So think of all the gifts, but just pop one in if you can. I love him the same, eternal love, openness, love, yes, worthiness, openness. We're all resonating on that same frequency, that I am worthy of love, that you're willing to receive it as well. And that's part of that worthiness feeling. I was important to him, protection, gratitude for the love and care I gave him. Yes. So let's go to the next one. I've talked to you about this before, I'm sure, and I know I've done videos on them because I just don't want you to forget this piece. So we're going to probably revisit this a lot. Memories. The best memories I have that make me smile are what? Pop something to mind really quick. Don't go up to your head to think about it. It'll come from your heart, and just pop it out. Best memories. So I'll tell you some while you're throwing those up for me. Murphy used to get in line over and over again for a treat. He'd get the treat. They'd literally line up, and then he'd go to the back of the line. And as he'd come up again, I'm like, didn't I just give you a treat? So that always made me smile. Katie rolling her eyes when I asked her to take that medicine one more time. Twinkie stealing a $20 bill and going under the sofa with it. Yeah, that was a fun little runaround. Snoopy showing me that if a blind dog could find a hole under the fence, what would a seeing dog find? Best memories. What are they? For you, because you have them. His warmth. Love that. Boost spiritual experience. Our animals are all about helping us on our spiritual paths. So I'm glad you recognize that. The way she looked at me every time, but her happiness when I came home. Ooh, I love that. Yes, that's a good one. They're so joyful to see us. That's an easy, straight into that accessing. Susan lying next to me on my bed and reaching his paws up to me. I can just see that and feel that. His sweet, good-natured way. Oh, beautiful. How he looked at me when he just came in from the rain, had just come in from the rain, and I was waiting for him with a towel to dry him. That's a lovely, lovely, lovely memory. Buffy accidentally rolling in poo, and she was not happy about it. I'm pretty sure you were not happy about it either, but it sounds pretty funny. Frankie showing up every time I open the refrigerator. I love that. It reminds like Murphy too, you know, always like opportunistic, looking for that treat. These are beautiful. Our long back and forth conversations. He would yap with me for 20 minutes at a time. What was that? The frequency of that? Like, what was that voice that you heard, that you felt? So let's go to the next one. These are great. Chloe running around like a squirrel on speed, smelling all the smells when we were on a hike. Pure curiosity and joy, unbridled joy. Grace eating watermelon. The noise was priceless. I love that. Oh, these details are they're just so special. And all of us can share in that. So let's commit to connection. All right. I know at any time I can tap into this frequency to help me find the answer my heart longs to know. I know at any time I can connect with you to help me heal my heart. I promise to connect daily to this energy that heals my heart and soul. And then I want you to acknowledge them. But make that daily commitment. Make it right now on the live stream together. We've already done it by bringing up this energy. We need to anchor it in and make it an intention going forward for the rest of your week or every day. So let's go to the last slide. Acknowledge them. Tell them. Call their name out. You are as close as my heart and always with me, because it's true. It's communion, connection that is the basis of all communication with your animal. I did have one more slide. Always remember, animals are master teachers. They are master healers. And we're pretty lucky. So let's be as receptive as our animals are. I am so grateful for you and so grateful for sharing this time together. What an amazing energy we created. I love it. And I would love for you to join me on my next live stream, which will be October 29th. We are on a roll. Let's keep this frequency going and embody and take in what we experienced today. Take it forward in your life and share it with others, especially the ones who need it. Thank you again, and I will see you